Hello, welcome back, Steve's Retirement Corner. It ain't what you make, it's what you bring home. Now, obviously, hey man, the more money you make, the better off your life can be. You know, it makes sense to take that promotion or that new job if you can make more money. You have more opportunities to make your life a little bit more comfortable and enjoyable. You know. It's just basic math. But for me last year when I was finalizing my escape plans, it was important for me to understand that I wasn't replacing my income, I was replacing my bring home. And if you're doing what it takes to retire, the difference can be huge, Doc. It's important for me to remember that because it's a whole lot less. It takes a whole lot less nest egg to afford your bring home than it does your income. You know, it made me be aware of and understand exactly where my little bit of bring home money was going. You know, if you get your daggone expenses and your debt level under control, financially, retirement ain't that big a daggone deal. It helped prevent me from staying an extra year. You know, I'd get to work sometimes, man, and I think, man, this here ain't bad at all, man. I can hang out here for another 10, 15 years. But the thing is, if I can bring home the same money without even having to roll out of bed, you know, why am I going to put myself through that trouble? You know, 40 plus hours a week, working holidays, double shifts, weekends, you know, getting drafted, putting up with everything. To me, it didn't make much sense. So that it prevented that one more year syndrome for me. It helped a lot. I got a lot of benefits of keeping that in mind. Now you might need 120% of whatever you make. You know, you might need 70% of what you bring home. You know, I don't know. And that's why it's important to figure out your expenses as close as you can before you figure out whether you can go or not. It made me feel good about not having $2.5 million or whatever, that, you know, because it doesn't take as much for me to cover my bring home, because it was a lot less. You know, I used to hear from guys all the time at work, because chances are you're going to bring home you're going to make less money when you retire than when you're working. You know, I used to hear it from them guys at work whenever they'd go check on their pension numbers or their Social Security numbers. They's getting ready to retire. You know, man, there ain't no way I can make it on that. I mean, I make a lot more than that now. My thing is, if you're bringing home the same amount, your income doesn't make no difference. You know, whether you're making 70 grand, you're bringing home 50, or whether you're making 100 grand and bringing home 50. You know, as long as you're bringing home what you need to live on or what you've been normally living on, hey man. You know, and it give me a new perspective on living below your means. You know, you're not living on the 100,000 you're making. You're living on the 60 or 70,000 that you're bringing home. Are you saving any of that? You know, I mean, this is a quick and dirty calculation in my head. It's, you know, it's taking a lot of liberties and a lot of things for granted. You know, I'm considering you're saving a little bit of money after taxes. Considering you're saving 401k money automatically. You know, I'm not counting inflation or how much money you could save by working in an extra year or anything like that. But I'm not, you know, I'm not considering your natural tendency to spend less money as you age, or your any fat or waste spending you got, that you can cut out. So to me, it's kind of a wash, but it was important for me to keep that junk in mind. And it's hard, you know. It's hard when you're making daggone when you've worked for four or 5 decades, man. You got a gravy job, and you're making more money than you ever thought of in your life. The thought of making 10 or 20 or 30% less and having to live on it can make you sick to your stomach, Doc. I mean, it can. Yeah. So, I mean, but that's what happens. So, I mean, and then, I mean, hey, man, how many times you ever hear anybody ask you how much you bring home? I don't care what kind of credit you apply for. That's the first thing they ask you is what you make. Anytime you apply for a job, what do they tell you? They tell you the salary, what it pays. You never hear anybody bragging about how much they bring home. It's always how much I made last year. What you bring home is just not in vocabulary nowadays. It's not heard a lot, and it's not thought about a lot till you get your check. And it made it so easy for me to confuse the two. That my salary and my bring home, was the same. I had to plan to live off of my salary instead of planning to live off of my bring home, which I'm already doing. And if I'm saving some of my bring home, I'm not even living off of that. Well, I mean, you hear it put a lot of different ways too. You hear it put, it's not your income, it's your expenses. Dad used to say it was didn't matter what you made, it mattered what you kept or saved. Same kind of thing. It's just it was just a different way of thinking about it for me, and it made a big difference. It helped me with some of the fears and concerns I might have had before I went into retirement. Well, it's starting to get dark here. I'm gonna have to get to the house. Y'all take care of yourselves. You enjoy your weekend the best you can. We got a Christmas parade this weekend. I'm going to try to run in there if it don't rain. It's supposed to be Sunday afternoon, so they're calling for rain here. Might even get a little bit of thunder. You believe that? But y'all take care, and we'll talk to y'all later.